Hello. In this video, we are going to discuss about the entropy and information gain, which are very important parameters in order to design a decision tree classifier. So, hope you will enjoy this video. So, first of all, we try to understand what is the meaning of entropy. So, entropy is nothing but it is the measurement of randomness. The question is why we are trying to learn this entropy, because without entropy it is very difficult to calculate information gain. So that's why entropy is essential component, and now we'll see how what is the meaning of entropy in the data. So first of all, we'll try to understand the meaning of entropy by a very simple example. So let's assume a scenario of the class when there's no teacher in the class. Then usually the behavior of the student is like roaming here and there. There's a kind of movement, there is no specific arrangement. Somebody is running, somebody is moving. So we can say this situation is of high chaos. But the moment when the teacher enters in the class, then everybody sits on their chair and they listen to the lecture. So we can say there is a low chaos. So when there is high randomness or high chaos, then we can say it's a case of high entropy. And if there is low chaos, low randomness, then we can say it is a low entropy. So the question may come in the mind why we are studying, why we are learning this entropy in context of decision tree classifier, and the answer is until unless we measure the randomness or the disordered, how much disordered my data is, we cannot decide the right attribute or the appropriate attribute from which we should start our journey of construction of decision tree. As we have seen in the previous video, we can take the decision at the root by assuming some attribute and we'll put some condition. Now the question is which attribute. If I am having n number of attributes and some labels also, then which attribute to be taken at the top for decision making and at the next level as well, so that I should get my results or my leaf nodes or my decisions in minimum number of the steps. That's why we need to consider the case of entropy or discuss the topic of entropy. So the formula for entropy is E. We generally denote it by E. E of D. D is the data after distribution, and summation of minus pi log pi base 2 and I equals to 1 to n. Here E denotes the entropy or impurity, or we sometimes call it as randomness. N is the total number of classes existing in an attribute. For example, I have taken one attribute which is having only two values, true and false. Then we can say there are only two classes. One is true, another one is false. Say I'm having the data of the some marks or some result, and outcome is in the form of pass and fail. So I can say that my data is having two class, one is pass, another one is fail. It may happen in the case there may be more than two classes as well. So we have to n is to simply depicting the number of classes existing in an attribute or a feature. For example, gender. So if my data under the attribute gender is having male and female, then the number of classes will be 2 and hence the value of n will be 2. And P is the probability of class I in our data D. What does it mean? Say probability of gender male and gender female in the data. So say I am having two classes, I equal to 1 and I equal to 2. Gender is equal to male and gender equal to female. So the probability of gender male and probability of gender female. So that is known as PI. So now we'll try to understand the entropy by a simple graph. This is the formula which we have seen in the previous slide, and I am mapping the probability of any class Pi versus the entropy D, E of D. So let's take the example where I am having an attribute shape having two classes, one is square, another one is circle. So if I plot the graph entropy versus probability of circle, then the graph will look like this in the ideal situation. So probability will range from 0 to 1. Similarly, the entropy will also vary from 0 to 1. And at the midpoint indicates when I am having equal number of circles and equal number of square in 50-50% proportion. In that case, my probability will be 0.5. Now, at this point, when I am having all the squares, or at the extreme point where I am having all the circles, so in both the cases, my entropy will be 0. That means if my data is 100% circle or 100% square, that ultimately my data is less chaotic, less random, so the entropy will be 0. And in between there may be some variation in the number of squares and circles. So entropy will be 0 if all the items are circle or none of the item is circle. So roughly we can say in both the cases my data is in the form of purity, in the form of less chaos. So entropy is the reason behind ED equal to 0 is entropy is the measurement of randomness. So if probability of circle is 0, that means class circle is 100% missing. Okay, if probability of circle is 0, that means class circle is 100% missing, and the probability of circle is 1, that means class circle is 100% present. So there is absolutely no randomness. Let's take one more example to better understand this. Suppose there is in a class there is an attribute attendance, and it has only two class, present and absent. When all the students are absent, there is no chaos. That means my entropy is 0. When all the students are present, still there is no chaos. My entropy will be 0. So that's why E of D equal to 0 if all circles are there or all squares are there. In between, when there is a disproportionate way, disproportionate number of circles and square, then we have some non-zero value of entropy. So let's take one example. Formula is already there for calculation of the entropy. There is an attribute shape having some entries of circle and some of square. So that means there are only two classes. One is circle and the other one is square. So therefore the number of classes are 2, and the formula is entropy D equal to entropy for class 1 plus entropy for class 2. If there would have been the 3 or 4 number of classes, then accordingly we can expand this expression. So total number of circles equals to total number of circle equal to number of squares. As we can calculate, there are 3 circles and 3 squares. So therefore the probability of circle equals to probability of the square, that is equals to 0.5. So this is the formula. Entropy of D equals to minus P of circle log P base 2 of circle, P of square log P base 2 of square. Ultimately when we calculate it, then it is nearly equals to 1. So this is one of the example. If number of entries, if number of elements in an attribute are 50-50%, so in that case my entropy will be equals to 1. So let's take another example where all the elements are circle, though there are two classes, one was square, another one is circle, but unfortunately one class is completely missing. That means my 100% population belongs to only one class. Therefore the probability of square will become 0 and probability of circle will become 1, and if you put it into the formula, then my entropy will be 0. It may be the case with all entries would have been squares, then one of the class will represent the entire population, hence the entropy will become 0. So hope you are getting this. So far we have discussed about the entropy, which was the measurement of the randomness. Now the next topic is information gain. What it means? It is a parameter which is used in making the decision for an attribute, that is which attribute should be taken first first for decision making in the decision tree out of n number of the attribute. So there must be some selection criteria of the attribute, and that selection criteria is the information gain. So it is the parameter used in the process of attribute selection in decision tree. It means, if we try to understand the meaning of the information gain, if I calculate the information gain for an attribute A, then it means how much reduction will be in the entropy if I make a split on the attribute A. If I get high value of the information gain for an attribute A, it means less amount of the entropy will be left for the next level. Okay, so an attribute with highest information gain will be selected for the split. That means only less information will be required for the further or for subsequent steps. So now we'll see the formula for the information gain. It can be represented by IG, and remember, information gain will be calculated for each and every attribute. So information gain for attribute A is equals to E of D, that is the entropy of the system, and expected information required can be represented by I after partitioning by attribute A. What does it mean? If suppose I am having a tree and I will make a split on the basis of the attribute A, and after split only 20% information is more required to reach up to conclusion. And take another case when I have one attribute B where 30% more information is required after split, and attribute C needs 80% more information after split. Then which one we prefer? We prefer the split with minimum information required after split. That means the attribute A, which needs only 20% of the information after split. So that means my system or my decision tree will reach to the classification in less number of the steps. So if we split on the basis of the attribute A, then how much information will be further required to reach up to the classification? And smaller value of information required means more purity of the partition, hence less number of decisions to be taken. So let's see the formula in detail for calculation of the information gain. As we have already seen, the information gain will be calculated for each and every attribute, and the attribute with maximum information gain will be selected for the decision making first out of n number of the attribute. So information gain for attribute A equals to entropy of the system minus weighted average into entropy of each class of attribute A. Let's try to understand what does it mean with the help of an example. There are three attributes: color, length, and label. First two attributes that are the data attribute, and third one is the label. So we can say this is the label data. My label is having only two classes. One is Camlin, other one is Natraj. Therefore, we can calculate the entropy like this: minus 1 upon 5 log 1 by 5 base 2 for Camlin, and 4 by 5 is the probability for Natraj. So hence the probability or the entropy of the system will come out as 0.49. Now we try to calculate the information gain for the attribute color. What is the weightage of color? We can calculate information gain for color or information gain for length. Which one of the attribute have high value of the information gain, that will be selected first for decision making. That's what the intent behind calculation of the information gain. So attribute color is having two classes, as you can see in the example. One is black, another one is red. So we can calculate the entropy for color equals to black. So there are three black color entries, out of which one is having label Camlin and two are having Natraj. So 2 by 3 is the probability in respect of the label. 2 by 3 is for Natraj and 1 by 3 is for Camlin. So the entropy for color equals to black equals to 0.63. Similarly, uh, we can calculate color equals to red. If you see the red color, there is only one label which correspond to the color red, that is Natraj. That means 100% similar results are coming. There is no difference in the label, so entropy will be 0 for this system because both red have the same label equals to cam. So now we'll calculate the information required. So basically, this part which is this particular part, weighted average into entropy of each class of attribute A. This is the information required part. So this was our data set, and we have already calculated the entropies. Now we'll see what is the meaning of the weighted average into entropy of each class. So information required for the attribute color is equals to 3 by 5. 3 by 5 means only 3 black entries were there for color equal to black out of total 5 entries. So 3 by 5 into entropy for color equals to black plus 2 by 5. Two red entries are there. 2 by 5 into entropy for color equals to red. So if we calculate, we have already calculated. Now we'll substitute the values in this formula. So information required for attribute equal to color is equals to 3 upon 5 into 0.63 plus 2 by 5 into 0, and which will give you us the value 0.37. And now we have information required. Now we'll substitute in this formula, so we can get the information gain for the attribute A. So its entropy we have already calculated 0.49. Now substitute this value 0.49 and the information required, that is 0.37. So information gain for the attribute color is equals to 0.12. So this is how we can calculate the information gain for a particular attribute. Similarly, we can calculate the information gain for the attribute length. So which one of the attribute, either color or length, will give the highest value of the information gain, that will be selected first for making the decision in the decision tree. Thanks for watching this video.